Are you ready to go? All right. Oh, good. Hey, welcome back for the break. And I thought before we start talking about the lecture some more, let's pause for a moment because I'm sure all of you, mostly at home, because you guys here online have asked me questions already about the structure and the makeup of the test and what to expect. And so I want to kind of mention that a little bit here at the beginning. So now that we got the bulb working, I wanted to go to Canvas. And so your Canvas page, when you get there, should look something like this. And so if you go to Canvas and you hit assignments, you have all these things that say upcoming assignments. And of course, right there at the top is exam number 1. All right. Now, as a side note, I like to look at my Canvas page where it shows it by type. But date's also very important too. It's like, okay, what's coming up next here? But when I look at it by type, I see, okay, here's the homework I'm going to be doing, here's the labs I'm going to be doing, and scrolling down to the exam, there's the exam. But what I thought I would do is click on it and want to encourage you guys at home to click on it and find this link before you're ready to get started, because once you actually start the exam, you then have 90 minutes, and so the clock begins, all right? Now, if you look here, it'll show you that you have availability. It's all day. And so starting on Wednesday morning at 12 a.m., if anybody's so bold to start at 12 a.m., go ahead. But then you also have till midnight, or actually 11:59 to finish it. So find a 90-minute window somewhere that you know you can be quiet, your Wi-Fi won't crash on you, and you'll say, okay, I'm going to begin. And that probably is late in the day because you might want the time to study, especially you online people, because the lecture I do tomorrow on Tuesday, then we'll process it, and you won't even get that information about Chapter 5 until later in the day or the evening of Tuesday. So you might want to see it late on Tuesday night. That's what I would encourage you, so you can sleep on it, study the next morning on Wednesday if you can, and then start the exam Wednesday evening. But anyways, you choose when you want to start. You got 90 minutes. You guys in person, then we'll just get you started, and you can do it right here. And of course, you also have that option too. So I for all of you guys, both online and in person, if you're going to take the test online, don't show up here in person, okay? Or come later for the lecture. And you guys in online, if you prefer to take it in person, well, then come. You can sit right here, and I can answer questions for you. Yeah.
So then there is a lecture that day too.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna go 9 minutes, and then there's some lecture. Yeah. So I guess I should make that clear. So the test will start at 8 a.m.
The test, or 8 a.m. Okay, then the lecture will be after.
And so the lecture will be at 9:30. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good point. I could switch it around if you guys want for the in-person, but usually that makes students nervous. They're nervous the whole time during the lecture about the exam. So it's best just to start the exam at 8 o'clock. And so from 8 to 9:30 will be your in-person exam. Yeah.
So for DSPS students that get longer for their tests, how would that work?
If you take it online, I've already included the extra time for the DSPS people, and you guys should check that, make sure I didn't mess up. If you do it in person, let's talk, because you could go longer and I could put you over in another room, but then you're going to miss the lecture, or you could come earlier, or we could set you up in the DSPS office, but let's talk after class what you would want. Okay. Okay. Anyways, so I wanted to say that. Of course, right now it should look like it's locked to you, so you can't see it until you get started. Okay, and so that's the exam. Let me go to the announcements, because my Sunday email, which would be the start of this week, so I call it week 2, day 0, and so each Sunday you'll get a day 0, kind of saying, hey, this is what we're doing this week. And so in here, I did explain that the exam day is Wednesday, okay? The length of the exam is 90 minutes. You will take it through Canvas. Oh, I should have, let me go back to it. I should have pointed out something there on the test. I'll go assignments. I'll do by date, so it'll be at the top. But you also might notice that it says over here 11 questions, and that's because the first 10 are multiple choice. And so the multiple choice will be like, you know, which of these 4 statements is one of Newton's 3 laws? You know, and so they hopefully will be straightforward. I've kind of budgeted 4 minutes per problem, thinking that, okay, some of them will take you under 4 minutes, but some should take you more than 4 minutes. But if you can kind of follow that pace, 4 minutes per problem. And like I said, they're not supposed to be hard. You drop an object, so right there you say I drop it, so it starts from rest, and I ask how fast is it going after 2.5 seconds. Again, a very short calculation, not the big long ones like you've been doing on the homework, but those multiple choice ones will be something like that. You know, what's the definition of net force? Or maybe a little picture that shows 2 forces and say what is the net force? You know, so straightforward, direct, multiple choice. You either get it all right or all wrong. It's 4 points, 10 of them. That's 40% of your test. That's the first 40 points. Then question 11 is actually the meat of the test. It's where it's going to say, here are 3 problems. Do these on pencil and paper or on your tablet if you prefer. Doesn't really matter how you do it exactly, but I just need to see you work it out. And these are more like homework problems. Okay? And then that's what you're going to upload into question 11. And so just like you upload a homework one or you upload a lab, you're going to upload that. Now, since we've had a little troubles for you guys online, I pushed the due dates back. You may not have uploaded anything yet to Canvas. Let me encourage you to upload something, okay? Practice that, okay? And you guys in person, if you take it, online, practice that you upload something. It's pretty straightforward. It just says, click here to upload your PDF. So you have to, if you do it by hand, the way I like to do it is I like to do it all by hand, and then take out my phone and use my little app that converts a picture into a PDF, and then I just uploaded it from the app, the Canvas app. Right there. So that works well for me. But there's no right or wrong way, just load it up there. And if you, some of you are still struggling making PDFs, and if all you can do is take a picture, then upload the JPEG of the picture. You know, just give me a picture here, okay? And so that'll be our first step. But what does that come out to be? So you'll have 50 minutes to do those 3 problems. Okay, and so you got to move forward kind of quickly on those. You can't come into the test saying, well, since it's open book and open note, I'll just read the book if I don't understand the problem. But that's where you'll run out of time. So you practice like those projectile motions. Okay, because one of the problems is going to be a projectile motion. I'll just tell you straight up, it's pretty obvious. We've been doing a lot of them. Okay, and so you're going to have a projectile motion, and hopefully you could read it and go, oh yeah, this is just like that. And so we had a basketball one, so maybe it won't be exactly the same problem, but you'll go, oh yeah, I got to find the velocity in the x direction and the initial velocity in the y direction, and I know the accelerations because it's a projectile, and I got to solve this column for time and put it over here into this column. And so just all those steps you've been practicing, hopefully now you're ready to go. And so it won't take you the full 16 minutes and 40 seconds that it's allotted for each problem. Okay, you can just go, hey, I got that one done in 10 minutes. That gives me extra time in case the next one's harder and I need to think about it. Okay. Question?
I have a question just about resources. So we can use our lecture notes, our book notes, our homework, like our work for the homework, the book.
Yeah.
And then do you have a preference for a calculator that we use? I know sometimes teachers.
No, you can use any type of calculator too. Yeah. And again, I'd encourage the one you've been practicing with, because you don't want to get partway through and go, oh, how do I do this on this calculator? Yeah.
Canvas is like weird if you open like other tabs, but I know that the textbook is like, my textbook is online at least, so will it like give any issues there if we like navigate away from the page?
I hope not. I haven't had any troubles when I navigate away.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think so.
Okay.
You can go to, you can look at your PDF textbook and then go back to Canvas. Should be fine. Again, if you run into any troubles, throw an email at me, especially on this first one. I know some students tell me, they said, I really did it and Canvas crashed right as I was trying to load it, and they send it to me by email, which is good backup because then I have a timestamp and I can see when you opened it on Canvas, and then I can see when you emailed it to me. So, like, oh yeah, it was only 92 minutes. Yeah, they must have had some kind of Wi-Fi problem. Sure. It wasn't 5 hours on the test. Yeah. So have any troubles, just do that. Mm-hmm.
And for those of us taking it in person, it'll be on paper, but we can
Yeah.
use our tablets for the online book.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And if you do it in person, I'll just take your paperwork right here. Yeah. Unless you want to upload it to Canvas, but probably not. Just if you're in class, just do it on pencil and paper, and I'll just collect it that way. And then bring your tablet or for your book. Yeah. Okay, so back to the where was I going to? The announcements, because I just wanted to make this clear and give you guys a chance to ask any questions of what perhaps isn't clear about the exam. So number one, it's on Wednesday. Number two, it's 90 minutes long. Number three, you'll take it via Canvas or in person. Because we're a little behind, it'll only be chapters 1 through 5, so we're doing 4 now. We're going to wrap up 4 in a little bit. We're going to do 5 tomorrow, and then that'll be the exam. It's not 1 through 6 as originally planned. As I mentioned, you can take the exam anytime from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., but once you start, you have 90 minutes. Again, as I said, there are these 10 multiple choice questions, 4 points each, so there's your 40 points. These are like what I said, very short homework problems. Just, hey, what is, which of these 3 statements are Newton's 3 laws, or so which one is not Newton's 3 laws or something, one of Newton's 3 laws. Or what's the velocity after an object is dropped and falls for 2.5 seconds. So very short one that kind of expected you could do it in less than 4 minutes. That's the idea. Or what are the units for acceleration? Hopefully kind of a straightforward multiple choice ones, but not the meat of the homework one. And then number 7, there will be 3 of these free response questions. These are problems like your homework. There'll be 20 points each, so there's your 60 points. And so the whole test is 100 points. Showing your work is required and partial credit is awarded. So I give lots of partial points, so make sure if you can't do the whole thing, you're at least scribbling out your thoughts, something that I could say, oh yeah, they started well, they did the projectile motion, they had the X and Y. And sometimes there's a lot of points awarded because I can see right away, I go, yeah, they did everything right. They just mixed their sine and cosine at the beginning. But other than that, it would have worked great. So instead of having the initial velocity in the X direction in the X column, they actually had the Y velocity in the X column, and they got those 2 backwards. That's a reasonable mistake, but everything else was solid logic. And so I can give you a lot of points for that. Going, okay, that clearly they kind of know what's going on, but they just made a simple mistake. And especially if simple mistakes are made at the very beginning, because it can make the whole problem look wrong, and when it's really not. I can tell that student, okay, they just made that little backwards mistake at the beginning, and it looks like everything else is wrong, but actually it's solid logic for the rest of it. So, there's 17 out of 20 right there, even though the whole thing looks terrible. So I'm a big awarder for partial points here. And as I said, you're going to be turning this in, and preferably in a PDF format, since Canvas handles that best. But I can also work around anything that's not a PDF. The exam is open notes and open books. So, open up your notes. I would even encourage, I always do anyways for a test is I make one extra little note sheet that is really kind of the summary. It's got all my equations on it. It's got, say, Newton's 3 laws, and that's my go-to. And thinking that I could probably take this whole test from that sheet. I've studied hard. I really don't need anything else. I got it here just in case, but that's going to consume so much time if I'm looking things up. I've got my formulas right here, and I need to jump right into those problems. So that's how I would encourage you. You have that one note piece that is your go-to note piece with all your questions. Again, issues can come up, so email me, right away if you can. Okay. Okay, so that's the exam. I did want to say a little bit about the labs because I've had a little troubles getting them to you guys. But fortunately, I've got the first 2 to you guys. You guys in person have done 3. Haven't got you the 3rd one yet, but I'm going to work on that today. Get you the 3rd one and even the 4th one. You guys in class are going to do the 4th one. But also, I know a lot of you out there have had a little troubles doing the virtual desktop and getting to Logger Pro and graphical analysis. And worse still is getting it out of the virtual desktop into Canvas. And so there's a little bit of a learning curve. So I just want to say I understand that, totally understand that. That's why on the due dates, let me just come back to the assignments. I purposely then went ahead and bumped the due dates for all the labs. So here's the 1st and the 2nd. I know you guys in person, you already did this. In fact, you did the first 3 already. But these first 3 that were supposed to be due yesterday, Sunday night, I just bumped to next Sunday night. So 1, 2, 3. Hopefully these 6 then you guys will all have and they'll do Sunday night. And so I would encourage you guys online, don't even worry about these labs until after you're done studying for the exam. They'll help you study for the exam. So if you can study for the exam and still have some time before the exam to do some of the labs, that could be good. But it's more important, do the homework and study for the exam. That'll serve you better than actually doing the labs. And so if the labs have to wait until after Wednesday and you do the labs on Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and turn them in Sunday night before midnight, that's fine and understandable and okay. I also want to encourage you to make sure you do the homework before you do the test. That's real important. But that being said, I gave you till Sunday night to turn in the homework too. So that'll help. All right, well, let me call that quits and you can hit stop run and we will say bye.